Hey guys, I was just in a meeting. They were reviewing healthcare workers and their ongoing strains, the strain that when you work in healthcare. And they were talking about the important in investing in your skill development, so in your career development, so that you have well-being at work, that you feel like you're expanding, growing, and it's joyful, and you feel like you have meaning at work. So the meeting is American College of Healthcare Execs, and they were talking about, certain institutions that actually valued their healthcare workers as whole people. So they were providing things like well-being councils. They were looking at the data, like Mayo Clinic has a huge data set globally, looking at well-being of nurses, pharmacists, residents, docs, all different areas. And unfortunately, I'm a neurologist. Neurology had the highest burnout rate, which is very concerning. So certain healthcare systems were looking at how to focus on well-being, how to build tactics and strategies, and to assess metrics that were meaningful. So it was interesting to see how people were trying to solve this problem. So feel free to share on here, and what your institution's doing for well-being. Everyone has their own idea. What I did is I dove into the neuroscience strategies of well-being. Look through the literature. I'm looking at this book now, the HBR's Classics on Mental Toughness, they call it. Toughness is such a tricky word. It's not really a joyful or positive word, where a lot of neuroscience strategies can be joyful and positive. That's what I share in Brain Fresh. So I have a monthly membership called Leadership Lift, and we go over positive, joyful neuroscience strategies for leaders so that you can, keep at it, keep expanding, keep sharing strategies with your team, learning strategies to maintain your own well-being and your career development as a busy leader, right? So it's really important to stay at it. So this healthcare series was talking about the ongoing strains of, burnout, anxiety, people that are angry because they don't feel valued. And their goals were to actually share areas of joy and purpose and belonging and value with their teams, and giving moments of centering and reflecting and looking at the systems and looking at things system-wide, personal-wide, team-wise. I gave a talk at American College of Healthcare Execs with two other professionals, Dr. Buznowska and Dr. Love, and we talked about looking at affinity bias within teams and how to build diverse, effective, creative teams. And what we shared is that with teams you need to feel like neuroscience-wise, we all need to feel like we belong, that we can trust each other, or we can't get to that creative level. And so the other two, I talked about building culture in a team, and then how to solve conflict and what conflict truly is. So conflict really came down to emotions, obviously. And a lot of times frustration or anger is that secondary emotion, like there's something against maybe one of your values or something that's really important to you, or you're not personally feeling valued. So I learned a lot about anger when I was diving into all the research of career development and professional well-being. Anger is something really important, actually. So when you're feeling angry about something, it's time to kind of journal on that, take a minute, pause, reflect on that moment and what makes you really angry. Or if there's something that's just status quo, that's always done one way and you feel really angry about it, like there must be a better way, it might be that you're the person to develop that. It might be that you're the one that sees the answer. So don't wait for someone else to figure out the solution. You might have it. That might be why it's so frustrating to you, because you see things should be a different way. So acknowledge those feelings, because they're probably, hitting something deep in you. That's something that's really important to you. And of course, get professional help if you need, if you're only angry. But if something at work or something in the society is making you angry, it might be time to do something positive toward that, because you may see a solution that other people don't. And in order to put our brain in a good place to help others, we need, this is what we do in Brain Fresh. We learn how to brain prime to get the brain ready for a busy day, to solve those big problems. We learn how to align with our values and our strengths, and to make sure we feel like we belong where we are. And then we learn how to design and be really creative and figure out the solutions by building a growth team, try something, and just these are really important to be able to tap into some neuroscience foundations, so that we don't feel lost, like we're just trying stuff and we're not really sure why or where it comes from. So I love reading the literature, so I got you there. You don't have to go on and read all the neuroscience literature. So I'll just share that with you. So feel free to follow me on YouTube and check out my Leaders Lift. My Leaders Lift is my monthly leadership membership, where we do workshops every month, and everything's included. And then you get access to all my courses that I've done over the last few years. And so on productivity and time management and There's coaches workbooks, there's all kind of stuff thrown in so that you have all the resources you need to keep moving forward and expanding, right? With joy and purpose. You got this.